I was 5 years old in 1930, so I was 10 years old, or 15 years old in 1940. So I remember most of the 1930s quite well. And I would say there was probably three or four things about the 1930s that really I remember distinctly. I would remember the drought. Uh, I remember the grasshoppers. The grasshoppers. I remember the heat, and I'd say the hard times. Everybody was poor, it seemed like. But as I look back at the 30s, 1931, 32 was a pretty nice corn crop. I can remember of my dad had corn pickers picking corn by hand and having the wagon loads of corn come in from the field in the evening. And I remember the comment, 32 was a pretty decent crop. And 33 dropped off some, but then 34, the drought hit and the dust came. And that dust, I have a lot of memories about that dust. One of the things I remember, I was going to country school, and we had an old schoolhouse that had windows that, you know, the panes didn't fit like they do today, and the dust would blow against that schoolhouse, and it would sift in around those window panes, and it would sift up on the sill until it would get about an inch or an inch and a half deep, and then it would slide off onto the floor. It was that bad. And the fence rows would, we had a weed they called the Russian thistle, tumbleweeds that when they got mature, they came loose from the ground and they rolled and they'd catch in the fences. Then when the dust would blow, it was just like a snow fence. Those fences would get almost covered with dirt and drifted over just like snow. I remember seeing the red dust from Oklahoma. Down in Oklahoma, they had plowed up the pastures and planted wheat, and then when the drought hit, that dust would blow. And we had red dust. We could see it around here, clear up in Nebraska. And my dad had some purebred shorthorn, pole shorthorn cattle. He didn't want to sell them, and he always tried to raise enough feed to get them through the winter. And I can remember the corn that was drying up when it was about the height of normal wheat. And we'd have the grain binder out there trying to cut that to just save what feed we had. When we took that off the ground, then it was all just bare ground, and the dust would blow that much worse. And really a lot of that food didn't have much food value to it. And the livestock it was a tough deal. Our cows were skinny, I can remember that. Some of them didn't even make it through the winter once in a while. But my dad didn't want to sell them, and he did eventually. We got through all of that. And everybody was poor, grain prices were poor. There are some statistics even clear back in 1940 yet. The Nebraska, or the corn yield in Hamilton County was only 2.8 bushels average. And that corn ranged in prices back then. President Roosevelt was always trying to raise the prices of corn and the grain for the farmers. At that time there were a lot of farmers, and I think politically that would be appeasing for votes to get the prices up, you know. And I can remember corn being as low as 10 cents a bushel, and as high as somewhere around $1 a bushel.